Hey all, and this is the Twilight's Edge event. This is a Water Commander event and Noble Killer. So water is pretty much my worst type of event. I made up a few teams, but neither of the teams are really that effective. And in all fairness, only really good enough for the diamond map. So here's the first team. This is for the bosses. I have a bunch of relics that get rid of the noble shields. Unfortunately, I don't have any water noble killer relics, or should I say water relics that get rid of noble shields. So I'm forced to use 5 like that. And then for the team, I have an old support card as lead. This one has the lead skill for all noble killer heroes. And I've mixed in a Slayer card on this team and another Slayer card there. That's why that's the lead card. So Santa gives the boost to Noble Killer heroes. That's why it's on the team pretty much. As you can see, that increases Noble Killer attack by 200%. If you have 8 water power gem 1s or higher on the board, this is 10 times more powerful. So this is an old Slayer card. It spawns quite a few power gems. That's the only reason it's on the team, plus it's Noble Killer. This is the card that you need for the killer skill. Out of the older cards anyway. This one spawns quite a few power gems. It's not massively effective, but it's a semi-decent older card. And now this card, I managed to get this from the Slayer event, Noble Killer Slayer event. This card is really useful for filling the grid with power gems. It's also a Noble Killer card, as you can see. So the idea behind this card is to try and use it, and then when it fills the grid with power gems and uses the Bloody Mary skill, use Santa as well to boost up the damage, and then it does around 30 to 40 trillion. So not too bad. It's good enough to defeat the diamond bosses, but on the korelium bosses it has major problems. That's the solo bosses and not the guild bosses. The solo bosses also have toxin this time around, so any team revolving around the golems is kind of out, unfortunately. So for the Crusade, I put the support card as lead. This helps a lot when picking an ally card, as it gives the boost to the HP, and you get a lot more than, say, with this card as lead. And then it's just a bunch of older ultimate forms, really. There's nothing special about this team. And Bloody Mary on the team again to spawn all those power gems. It's getting me through the Diamond Crusade. It could probably get me through the Korelium Crusade as well, but the problem there is the solo bosses. I simply cannot get through them quickly to make it worth my time doing the Korelium Crusade. So that's the teams I will be using for the event to start with. Now I'm going to have a go at the vault and see if I can get anything to improve these teams. Okay, so here we go with the vault. I think I'm going to do 3 tiers of the main vault. I need the relic, and then I think 2 tiers of the other vault. I have quite a few gems at the moment, and my teams are pretty poor in all fairness, so here we go. Tier 1 of the main vault. Well, that card would have been amazing at some point, but not really that useful anymore, if I'm being honest. It's a Gen 2 card. I think it's part of the collection this time around. So here we go with tier 2. well, okay, I think that's the same card as I got last time, isn't it? That's a little bit strange. Again, I used to really like that card, but it's not much use anymore. But thanks for giving it to me again. Right, this is the final tier I am doing of the main vault. My final chance to actually get something decent. Oh, look at that trash that I got. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's the worst tier 3 I think I've ever seen. Yeah, that won't be helping me that much, but I did need the relics, so let's go ahead and craft this. Well, that's another junk old card, so that doesn't really help me at all. Yeah, I'm still going to have major problems with this event by the looks of it, as the only thing that really helped me there was the relic. Let's try 2 tiers of this. Well, support coins don't really help me much. And now I should get the support hero, which, I don't know, probably won't help as I already have a support card. I might. Have I got a second one from this? Yeah, there we go. 2 copies of it and a hammer. So that's not too bad, in all fairness, for 700 gems. But yeah, nothing decent from that vault either, so the only thing I could add to my team is that relic, unfortunately, and I really don't want to go onto tier 4, even though I'm kind of tempted to, just to get the main hero, but I guess I'll just have to try and make do with the cards that I have already. Alright, so here we go with the Crusade. I have a korelium solo boss up, unfortunately, and that's pretty much blocking me. It would take around 5 attacks to defeat that, so I'm just going to play the diamond map, I think. So basically I'm just searching for any decent water commander card, so let's scroll through. The ultimate form's perfect. I could do it with something a bit weaker as well. I tend to scroll down to the adventurers section first. That's probably usable actually, so I'm going to use that rather than using up my friends. I'm running out of usable cards already. I've been playing the event for about 2 hours or so that gives you an idea. Now this should be no problem. As you can see there, with the support card as lead, I've got tons of health now. So the trick is to try and use this card twice before the end boss. Then just be careful how the skills are used. This is pretty quick at getting through the waves. So with the normal enemies, again, I don't want to use up too many of the cards. I don't think I used enough cards there. Yeah, a little bit under. But you get the general idea. I'm trying to save some of my cards for each wave so I don't use them all up. Here we go with wave 3. Just very carefully matching. Yeah, that's more than enough damage. Wisp here, so I don't need to use anything. Then for the end boss, use Bloody Mary to get all the power gems and just finish it off. And with this method, the Crusade is pretty easy. I could probably do the Korelium Crusade as well. Again though, the solo bosses are blocking me there. I can't kill the solo bosses quick enough to make it worth my time. Yeah, that will totally destroy it. Some nice gifts there. Yeah, I need to trade the korelium keys. I'm not actually getting many korelium keys. I'm just getting gifts so far, it seems like. So I'm going to play on for a bit longer and try and get a solo boss up. Alright, so now I have a diamond solo boss up. I will show you the method I'm using to defeat these. There we go. So my boss's team. I've added the relic I got from the vault onto the team. This should help spawn a few more water gems at the start. It also breaks one of the shields like the previous relics did. Here we go. Alright. So pretty straightforward strategy here. The idea is to use this card twice. Then once I'm able to use it for the third time, use Santa as well. So nice simple strategy. Can use the other cards as well, but just have to be careful of the cooldowns on them. This card is good as the cooldown's only 2 turns. So that's the second time. I just need one more water gem match like so. And now I should be able to kill it. See what that does. So yeah, not bad. Over 30 trillion. That gets rid of the diamond bosses. It only gives 25% overkill though, but my aim here is to just get through them as quickly as possible. All the points for me this time are going to be in the guild bosses. Unfortunately, I could try the korelium solo boss as well, but I fear I may run out of keys, so I think I'm going to leave that. One other thing you may have seen is I do have an ultimate boss up. I'm going to give this a go. I think this might be foolish though, especially as it has 3 skills on it, as you can see there. I'll do a few levels though and see how well I get on with this. I don't think I'm going to get on very well with it, but it might give me a few extra trophies and help. With the ultimate bosses, you do need a lot of Crusade keys, and I don't have that. However, I'm only really doing this to test out and see how well I can do at them with this team. So here we go. You may have seen, but Santa dispels armour. And that helps a lot, as armour is quite a nasty skill, actually. I'll use this card as well, as it has a low turn cooldown on it. Yeah, I may get 500% on this one. My concern is that I'm not going to have many Crusade keys left. So I may only do a few levels. Yeah, that does more than enough for 500% though. So that's helping a little bit with trophies. You can see that there. I may do one or two more, I'm not sure yet. I don't want to waste my keys. 3 keys a time. And the HP does go up pretty rapidly on these. Let's do level 1, 2 and 3 of the ultimates. Then go back to Crusade, I guess. Of course, if you have the event deck, you may want to consider going higher. My general rule with these is if you can no longer get overkill on the bosses, they're probably not worth going any higher with. I also need to wait for armour to wear off. A little bit annoying that Santa didn't counter it. Never mind. It should be timed perfectly, actually. So armour wears off just as the skills are ready, so here we go. Yeah, that should be enough. Perfect. I'll do one more only. I mean, I could probably go higher, but as I've already mentioned, I'm concerned about my Crusade keys more than anything. Here we go, level 3 ultimate. Yeah, I don't think I'll get 500% if I did the level 4. I might not even get it on this one, but we'll see. Armour counted this time, though. There we go. Carefully match, and that's 500% perfect. So that's given me a few extra trophies. But that's it. What you can do here is just use one key on the boss if you want to reset it. use one key, then quit out immediately. Sometimes it doesn't reset back to level 1 unless you do that, so something to bear in mind. Alright, so here we are with guild bosses. I think these are slightly easier than the solo bosses. They don't have toxin. They have armour and might. Now, a couple of my cards actually counter armour. Santa, and I believe this card has an armour counter as well. Let's just have a quick look. Yes, there we go. It does. Move over to Santa. So 2 armour counters. So hopefully armour should counter every single turn. Let's give this a try anyway. My team won't be able to defeat the Diamond or Korelium guild bosses easily, but it should have no problems with the Ruby. So same strategy as I used with the solo bosses, except this card heals each turn now because there's no toxin. So I should have no problems with health against this boss. So I can play quite fast now. Get Bloody Mary going and then use Santa. There we go. Then Santa, then the support card to spawn a few extra normal water gems. And that should kill it. Yeah, there we go. So it does perfectly okay on the Ruby Guild boss. If I tried to take on the Diamond or Korelium, I think I would have major problems. It would probably take me multiple attacks to defeat the Diamond, so it's not really worth hitting it, in my opinion, unless there's no one else available to kill the guild bosses. Alright, so we're going to move on to the event rewards. Let's start with the collection. So this is another Legend Souls or Legend collection, whatever you want to call it. Not much of value, if I'm being honest. Tons of support coins. Choice coins as well. The gems, of course. But yeah, this is a pretty poor collection, if I'm being honest. I mean, a water essence as the final reward. Seriously? As if a water essence is worthy of being the reward at the end. Should be something like 1,000 gems, really, but it's not. It's an outdated collection with junk rewards. Just get it done as quickly as you can. And now onto the Warden. Now my defense is fire, so I may want this Warden. Let's have a look. Traitor. Dispel Panic. Really? That's such a bad counter skill. Traitor is pretty poor as well as a defender skill, if I'm being honest. As always, the stats are pretty good. Yeah, probably not one I'm going to use. Traitor doesn't really do anything, and I don't think it's really worth replacing any of my other Wardens for this one, but you can all decide for yourselves if you want to use this or not. The final thing I'm going to do is look at the actual event deck. Since I don't have this deck, let's have a look at what it actually does. So the ultimate form, Nocturnal Heralds. Creates 5 water power gem level 6s plus 1 more per charge of Omen. And increases self-damage. Right. So it's all dependent on healing skills. The longer you leave it, the more powerful it becomes by the looks of it, as it has a passive healing skill. The other two cards are likely going to be similar to that. There we go. Yeah, so it increases the amount of gems it stores up every turn. Well, this card. Oh, this one uses up all the omens, so that's an interesting skill. Kind of a weird deck. It's one of those decks where if you leave it, it gets more powerful, but as soon as you use the skills, it resets. An interesting deck for sure. If used with something like Santa, this could be really effective actually. It's a shame I don't have any coins at the start of the season, or the coins don't carry over. Otherwise, I would definitely consider getting this deck, mainly due to the lack of water decks I actually own. And there we go, that about covers this event video. I hope that was helpful. As always, if you do have any questions or suggestions regarding this, please let me know in the comments. I will do my best to help. And thanks for watching.